I've been writing poetry since, oh goodness, since I was 10. And I started behind the death of my great grandfather. It was therapy at the time. And it wasn't until later on that God told me that I need to share my poetry with other people in addition to family and friends. I wrote Lord, Why Did You Make Me Black back in 1994. I was dubbed the most bootleg poet in Philadelphia because everybody copied it. I didn't really like my name. I didn't like RuNett because I didn't meet anybody that had that name when I was growing up. I didn't know where my mother got it from. And as far as I was concerned, it was terrible. I didn't like Ebo because of the way I was teased about it. It was once I got to high school and going through the whole civil rights movement, listening to Malcolm X, listening to Dr. King, listening to Medgar Evers. That's when I began to slowly have a change of mind and realize, oh, I have just as much right to be here as anybody else. You know, my mother explained to me that RuNett is the French spelling of Renee. And she just didn't want to have it pronounced Renee. She wanted RuNett, and it meant beloved. Ebo is our family name. People wanted to know, did I change my name from something else like Smith or Johnson or whatever to Ebo? And I told him, no, that was my grandfather's name. That was his grandfather's name, and so on, all the way back. But Ebo, um, what I found out was IBO comes from Nigeria. EBO is what they usually have in Ghana. So when I did the African ancestry DNA test, it let me know that my roots are in Nigeria, Ghana, and a small place called Guinea Bissau. On my mother's side of the family, my roots are in Cameroon. So that is me as far as um, being able to trace my roots all the way back to the beginning. Lord, Lord, why did you make me black? Why did you make me someone the world wants to hold back? Black is the color of dirty clothes, the color of grimy hands and feet. Black is the color of darkness, the color of tired, beaten streets. Why did you give me thick lips, a broad nose, and kinky hair? Why did you make me someone who receives the hatred stare? Black is the color of a bruised eye when somebody gets hurt. Black is the color of darkness. Black is the color of dirt. How come my bone structure's so thick? My hips and cheeks are high. How come my eyes are brown and not the color of daylight sky? Why do people think I'm useless? How come I feel so used? Why do some people see my skin and think I should be abused? Lord, I just don't understand. What is it about my skin? Why do some people want to hate me and not know the person within? Black is what people are listed when others want to keep them away. Black is the color of shadows cast. Black is the end of the day. Lord, you know my own people mistreat me, and I know this just isn't right. They don't like my hair or the way I look. They say I'm too dark or too light. Lord, don't you think it's time for you to make a change? Why don't you redo creation and make everyone the same? And God answered, why did I make you black? Why did I make you black? Get off your knees. Look around. Tell me, what do you see? I didn't make you in the image of darkness. I made you in the likeness of me. I made you the color of coal, from which beautiful diamonds are formed. I made you the color of oil, the black gold that keeps people warm. I made you from the rich dark earth that can grow the food you need. Your color's the same as the panther's, known for her beauty and speed. Your color's the same as the black stallion, a majestic animal is he. I didn't make you in the image of darkness. I made you in the likeness of me.
Wow.
All the colors of the heavenly rainbow can be found throughout every nation. But when all those colors are blended well, you became my greatest creation.
Mm.
Your hair is the texture of lamb's wool. Such a humble little creature is he. I am the shepherd who watches them. I am the one who will watch over thee. You are the color of midnight sky. I put the stars glitter in your eyes. There's a smile hidden behind your pain. That's the reason your cheeks are high. You are the color of dark clouds formed when I send my strongest weather. I made your lips full, so when you kiss, the one you love will remember. Your stature is strong, your bone structure thick. To prepare for the burdens of time. That reflection you see in the mirror, the image that looks back is mine.
Wow.
I was scheduled to speak at a church for a Black History program, and the church was called Freedom Baptist Church in Chester, Pennsylvania. God woke me up 3 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I heard this voice that said, "Daughter, I got something to tell you."
Mm.
Well, when I woke up and looked around, there wasn't nobody in my room but me. I went back to sleep. Well, I tried to, but I heard it again. And when I heard it the second time and I realized there's nobody in this room but me, I said, okay, that's God talking. I grabbed a pencil and a piece of paper and I started writing.
Mm.
And the first half of the poem, where I'm asking all the questions, that was an interaction between God and me. The question would come and God would give me the answer. And it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which was beautiful. But when I got to the part that said, why don't you redo creation and make everyone the same? I got nothing after that. So I said, now I can't take this to the church and present it because it's hanging in the air. I mean, there had to be more because there were questions there, but there was no, what I want to say, there was no solution, no finality. But basically, I didn't get an answer. I didn't hear anything. So uh, I prayed on it, but I went back to sleep. A week later, and it was right before I was scheduled to speak because I was scheduled to speak that Sunday. So I would say Friday night, the Lord woke me up and gave me the whole second half of the poem where I say, and God answered.
Mm-hmm.
All of that was him. I just wrote what I heard in my spirit and I just kept writing, writing, writing. I didn't even know what I was writing. I was just writing what I was hearing, but I didn't realize what it was until I finished and went back and read it. And once I went back and read it, I was, oh my goodness, I couldn't stop crying for one thing
Mm.
because I said, this is God's love letter to his people.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
Mm.
So I
Yes.
presented it that Sunday, and that was interesting too. That's another story. But um, once I did, I got so many people applauded, so many people hugged me, so many people asked me where they could get the poem. They
Mm.
asked me, was it available yet? Everything. And I had to tell him, God gave it to me. I
Mm.
didn't really write it myself.
Mhm.
He gave it to me. And that's the way I usually present. I tell everybody that God gave me that poem. Interestingly enough, I went to my aunt a couple days later because I was going to submit it for a contest, try to win some money. And contests, certain ones have a restriction on how many lines a poem can be. So I told her, I said, well, I can't put this one in because it's 100 lines. And casually, my aunt said to me, that's because God always does things 100%. They all hugged me at the end because they said it presented something to them that they hadn't even thought about
Mhm.
and opened their eyes to what racism looks like. It
Mm.
opened their eyes to what we go through, maybe the questions we ask ourselves and how we deal with it. And because of that, well, that's one of the things, it has inspired me to write a book. I'm still working on it. But the book is entitled Divine Dictation, the story behind the poem, Lord, Why Did You Make Me Black? One white woman, she was dating a black man, so she thought it would be good to give it to him as a present. She said she gave it to him. He sat and he read it quietly. And she said the next thing she knew, he was in tears. So she thought she had done something wrong. So she went to him and she said, I'm sorry, I thought you would like. He said, no. He said, this is beautiful. You don't understand. He said, this is freeing for me. And I realized I needed to share. And one of my sons pointed out to me, Mommy, the reason why you do what you do is because people feel certain things, but sometimes they don't know how to express it. And that brought me all the way back to my childhood because when my great grandfather died, people kept asking me, how are you? I know what to tell them. I was 10 years old and I had lost my best friend. That was my best friend, my great grandfather. He was 83.
Mm.
And
Mm.
we had hung out together when I was 3, 4, and 5 years old.
Cute.
So to lose him once I turned 10,
It's a lot.
I felt like something left me,
Mhm.
but I didn't know how to express it. At the funeral, I was not crying. And it didn't make sense to me that I was not crying because everybody around me was crying. And as far as I was concerned, I loved Pop Pop more than anybody. So how come I'm not shedding any tears? So my mom put a pencil and a piece of paper in front of me and said, when you can't say it, write it down.
Mm.
So that was where the
Yes.
first poem came
That
from.
is true.
Every
You,
time I felt something that I felt like I couldn't express
Mhm.
verbally, I wrote it down.